I'm all in right now on Anthony Davis. I want you to know I've become the biggest fan club of Anthony Davis. I think he's my favorite player in the NBA. He's my favorite player to watch. And I'll tell you what, if I had to pick a player, I'd pick him over LeBron James.
MVP.
I pick him to build a franchise around. This guy plays the game easy.
Well, there you have it. That was our NBA analyst, George Karl, this morning, moments ago on SportsCenter, saying he'd take Anthony over LeBron. Stephen A., you agree?
No, I do not agree. I wouldn't take him over LeBron because of what LeBron is capable of doing and what he's already been proven that he can do over the course of 12 years and counting. However, I want to make sure everybody understands that's not to summarily dismiss what George Karl is saying, because if there is a player that you want to put in that category, compare or contrast as it pertains to their value to a franchise, Anthony Davis is big time. I agree with Skip and what Skip says on many occasions, where he's got a lot to prove. Get them to the playoffs. Let's see what you can do. But this is the 8th time this year this dude has had, 30-plus points with, more than 5 or 10 rebounds, actually. He had 5 blocks last night. Skip Bayless, he's had over 30 points against Dallas twice, against Washington, against Golden State, against Utah twice, and then last night against Houston. The difference is that other than those 2 games against Utah, which were both wins, and he had like 43 against Utah on the road early in the season, those other games he lost every one of them, where he scored 30-plus. But this kid is 6'11". He's got a jumper. He can handle the ball. He can defend 4, possibly all 5 positions. He's versatile. He can handle the rock. He can pass. This kid is the real deal. He's averaging 24.8, 10.3, with nearly 3 blocks per game. He's at 2.8. He's shooting 53% from the field. And Skip, all of his shots are not inside from 5 feet. It's from 15 feet. It's from 17 feet. It's elbow jump shots. It's jump shots on the wing. He's driving to the lane. He's finishing off breaks. This dude is special. He is the real deal. And he is somebody that is an easy vote for All-Star. He's not in the MVP conversation because his team is not enjoying the level of success that Steph Curry is in Golden State, that James Harden is in Houston, the way the Oklahoma City Thunder has looked with Russell Westbrook since he and KD have returned. He's not looking like them, but as an individual talent, with his size, his willingness and ability to defend, and the offensive repertoire he has at his disposal, I thought him coming out of college, Skip, would be a Bill Russell or a Patrick Ewing. Offensively, he's a better talent than those guys were. He has the potential to be just as formidable defensively, and he's a great kid. I love everything I see about him, Skip. He's a star in the making.
Okay, I agree with every point you just made in favor of Anthony Davis. But I got to defend LeBron James here. Just stop that. Again, and I love George Karl, and I know he would love to coach this young man because he is a coach's dream, as Anthony Davis. But come on, I've often been critical of LeBron James. I'm going to defend him now because this is just flat out wrong. It is so disrespectful to LeBron James. If we're talking about, and I'm not sure where George was going, if we're talking about for the next 15 years, okay, I'll take Anthony Davis. But if we're talking about the next 3 or 4 years, please, I will take LeBron James and I will beat you every time with Anthony Davis. I'm sorry. I agree with, look, the beauty of Anthony Davis's game, as you just detailed, is he was a guard in high school before he had the growth spurt. He's a 78% free throw shooter. I was shocked against the Spurs when they played earlier this year. Technical foul on Pop. They send Anthony Davis to shoot the technical free throw. It's like, are you kidding me? Now, if you want to say Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard, well, I'll take Anthony Davis every night of the week over Dwight Howard right now. And they played each other last night, but I got to give some pass to Houston because they had played a tough game at altitude in Denver the night before, and so it was back-to-back, and they came back to Houston. But Anthony Davis was special last night. As you point out, he has a mid-range jump shot that is guard worthy. He's like a two-guard playing center. He leads the NBA in block shots. He's 10th in steals. So the package is great. The intangibles, I don't know yet. I'm not sure. They're 13 and 12, and you can talk about the rest of the roster all you want. But they are barely clinging to the 8th spot in the West. Are they going to make the playoffs this year? No, they're not going to make the playoffs because you know who's coming up the rear quickly. In their rearview mirror is the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the Thunder had been able to close the deal last night, if Kevin Durant had gotten hurt, they would be right there. I think they're a game and a half back. I'm sorry. I need to see more. Just stop it with the LeBron James. I'll take LeBron for the next 4 years.
Yeah, but Skip, you know what? Show some respect to the great George Karl.
Well, I am.
He's not saying that the kid is better than LeBron James. He's saying that when you look at somebody's talent and you talk about starting a team, for example, yeah, I disagree with him. I certainly wouldn't take him over LeBron either. But it's not like it would be a far-fetched conversation if you harken back to what LeBron James was coming out of high school into the NBA. We knew about his athleticism, but we also looked at his requisite skills, his ability to pass the ball, his basketball IQ, his size that he had at his disposal. He was 6'8". 6'9", and that was before he was 260.
Yeah.
Back around that time, he was like 230.
All right.
Well, again, I would still take LeBron James because to me, he plays the guard spot more naturally than an Anthony Davis would coming out of winning a national championship as a freshman at Kentucky. But Anthony Davis is 6'10". He does have a jump shot that LeBron didn't have when LeBron was a rookie.
Yep.
He can defend frontline players in a way that LeBron never had to because LeBron doesn't play that position naturally. He is a better shot blocker, okay? So when you combine that with the fact that he can also run the floor, that he can defend 4 to 5 different positions, that he's a legitimate 6'10", that he's a legitimate forward, and he already has a jump shot and a natural feel for the game, even though they play 2 different positions. Understand, you're not comparing him like saying, oh, he's better than LeBron, because he's not. And, of course, you don't insult LeBron James like that. You're absolutely right. But let's say, for example, I know what I'm going to do, Skip. I'll give you this analogy. If you remember, when Michael Jordan was drafted number 3 overall, everybody killed Portland because they took Sam Bowie, all right? No one said a word about Houston taking Akeem the Dream Olajuwon. Why? Because even though he wasn't Jordan and never was and never would be, he was still the Dream. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, one of the greatest centers to have ever played the game.
Okay.
All I'm saying is you can look at it from that respect. Houston decided to start a franchise with the Dream because you don't teach 7 feet. And Chicago decided to go with Jordan.
All right, okay, but you know how much I love George Karl. Consider him a friend, and I have nothing but admiration. But if back in those days he had suddenly come on to ESPN and said, you know what, I'll take Olajuwon over Jordan any day going forward, I would have said, no, you won't, George, because I'll take Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that some people would look at it and go like this. It's not him saying Olajuwon is better than Jordan. It's him saying Olajuwon is big time and he's 7 feet. Anthony Davis is big time and he's 6'10".
Okay.
And he's 6'10".
Gentlemen,
and
we got to
what he's doing.
We got to wrap. We got to finish up our football topics. It got heated for a moment, I know, okay? Thank you for defending LeBron for one time. Once in your life. Jeez.
I got your back, big guy.
Yeah, you do love him. Coming up next, some Bears players are not happy about Jay Cutler being benched. Do they have a point? It's part of our final takes. These final takes are probably the best we've had in years.
I don't know.
You don't know about these final takes? The best we've had in years, folks. You don't want to miss it.